Hello, I'm Lauren Brantley Books, and I'm here today with a review of Dragon's Blood by Jane Yolen. This is a fantasy sci-fi book about a Bond boy who raises a baby dragon. Dragon's Blood takes place on another planet, the planet Ostar 4. It was once a penal colony used to dispose of criminals. Over time, the social system of the planet changed, and now there are two major classes of people. Bonders, the lower class of slaves that have to pay a bond price for their freedom, and the Bonders' masters. Bonders are noted as having a double K in their names to signify that they are Bonders, and they carry a small leather pouch. A Bonder can buy his freedom if he fills his pouch with enough gold, but it's rare for a Bonder to do so. One of the few ways a Bonder can buy his freedom is to raise and sponsor a fighting dragon. On Ostar 4, they have domesticated dragons, and these dragons are often used in a blood sport similar to cockfighting on Earth. If a Bonder manages to obtain a dragon and raise it into a fighter, then they can potentially win their first fight and pay off their bond with the prize money. Jaqen, a 15-year-old Bonder boy, wants more than anything to raise a dragon of his own into a fighter and buy his freedom. He was actually born free, but his mother sold him and herself into bond after Jaqen's father was killed by a feral dragon. Jaqen's mother died soon after selling them both into bond, leaving Jaqen alone in this cruel world. Jaqen works on a dragon hatchery, where baby dragons are hatched and sorted for either to be sent to the stews to be killed for their meat, or to be used as fighters in the dragon pits. The book opens at the beginning of the season where the female dragons on the hatchery are laying their eggs. Jaqen plans to steal a fertile egg and raise the baby dragon in secret. However, his plan is derailed when he is injured severely and ends up bedridden for several days. By the time he's back on his feet, the eggs have all hatched and been assigned to the mother dragons. One night, Jaqen visits the barn where all the female dragons and their dragonlings are kept. Normally, the hatchlings are strictly accounted for. However, due to an oversight, Jaqen comes across a stall with 10 baby dragons, even though the stall chart only says there are 9 hatchlings. He steals the 10th hatchling and takes it out to an oasis in the surrounding desert. There he must take care of the hatchling and train it to be a great fighter, and hopes that it will win its first fight to become a pit champion, and thus Jaqen will be able to fill his bond bag and become a free man. The book had good pacing. The beginning sets the stakes quickly and gave us just enough world building tidbits to understand what's going on. We quickly learn about the structure of the dragon nursery. There's the incubarn where the females and their young are kept. We also learn about the stud dragon barn and how the dragons are cared for by the bonders. We also learn a little about the economy of Ostar 4. Prostitution is legal and common. Brothels are referred to as baggeries because male bonders often spend gold from their bond bag to sleep with the baggery girls. We quickly establish Jaqen's personality, his goals and desire, and we learn about Lakarn, an older bonder who early on kills the dragon out of misguided revenge. The dragon he killed, Blood Brother, was once a fighting dragon. Lakarn bet his bond bag gold on Blood Brother's third fight. The dragon lost and Lakarn lost everything. He's been bitter about it ever since, and in an act of anger he kills the dragon with a stun gun. Lakarn isn't a likable character by any means, but he's still sympathetic. At the end of the day, he's a slave who desperately wants his freedom. It's easy to sympathize with Jaqen or Lakarn in that regard. I really want to see Jaqen succeed in his dragon raising venture. When he finally gets a chance to take a hatchling to train, it's a great moment of triumph. I like that Jaqen had to rely on his own resourcefulness to obtain, care for, and train his dragon. There were no kindly mentors or parental figures to help him. You really get to know Jaqen as a clever, determined, sometimes stubborn, and oddly mature young man. We also get to know two pretty well done female characters. First is the nursery cook, Karina. She apparently used to be a bakery girl before becoming the cook at the dragon nursery. She has a passion for cooking good food and takes pride in her work. I really like this character. She's well-rounded and had a nice backstory. Second is Aki, a female bonder around Jaqen's age. Aki is willful, stubborn, forward, and fiercely independent. She and Jaqen develop a friendship with one another, and Aki becomes an invaluable ally to Jaqen as he trains his dragon. Aki definitely has some secrets of her own, but I won't get into spoilers. I love the relationship between Jaqen and the dragon hatchling. The hatchling communicates with Jaqen via a mental link. It can't speak telepathically with words. Instead, the dragon sends colors that respond to the dragon's emotions. The telepathic bond between Jaqen and the dragon reminded me of Emma Caffrey's Pyrenees dragons. Interestingly, these dragons are vegetarian. They subsist on two alien weeds that grow in the desert. One thing I would have liked to see more of was to learn more of the specifics of how Jaqen trained the dragon to fight. You only get one real scene of him actually training the dragon. It's an important scene that foreshadows the climax of the book, but I would have liked to have seen more scenes like that. The description of the dragon fighting rings was really good. We get to learn the specifics of how dragons are treated as domestic animals, both in the nursery and in the fighting pits. I loved learning the specifics of this world's dragons and their place within it. I never read a story where people regularly eat dragons, as nursery hatchlings that don't have the right temperament to be a fighter or a pet are simply taken to the stews and killed for their meat. It's a threat that looms over Jaqen if his dragon is discovered by the wrong person. The dragon itself had a lot of personality despite being a silent character. We see Jaqen and the dragon bond and train together. The dragon is curious, kind, and playful. We really get to see Jaqen mature as he cares for the dragon. It resonates with the book's theme of maturity. A big question Jaqen asks himself is, when will he be a man? He feels insecure about himself at the beginning, but through his own adventures with his dragon, he comes into his own. I highly recommend Dragon's Blood. I feel like this is a dragon book that isn't talked about much, and I hope that changes in the future. I definitely will be checking out the sequels to Dragon's Blood. I always love a good dragon book, and Dragon Blood very much delivers. If you have any more dragon book suggestions, I would love to hear them in the comments. I'm Lauren Brantley Books, and this has been my review of Dragon's Blood by Jane Yolen. If you've read this book before, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments below. If you want to hear more reviews from me, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be notified about future videos. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next review. Bye!